Brendan Coyle is an RE teacher and assistant head at St Joseph's Roman Catholic High School in Rochdale. He's ever ready, ever reliable, and with the demands of both the teaching and leadership role, ever so stressed.
I contacted Teachers TV because the role that I'm in at present as assistant head teacher, I'm conscious that the staff that I work with and the pupils that I teach need to get something from me. And at the moment I'm not convinced yet that I use my time as effectively as I could.
Brendan, could you possibly do me a favour?
Have you just rung me?
Yes. Do you want the November assessment putting on?
Could you put it in your diary, please?
And I'm coming with you?
Yeah, please, you don't mind.
Staff sometimes want instant answers or they want things done straight away. And those issues actually can make your life or your day quite stressful. Don't worry. Jordan, let's get uniforms on. From my meeting with Gladina, I'd like to believe that she would provide for me some strategies that I can use to help me become a better leader and a better manager. And that would impact on my effectiveness in school. But also the spin-off would be perhaps I won't have to work any harder but be more effective, which would give me more time for my leisure pursuits at home and perhaps to see a little bit more of my wife. And I'm certain she'd like that a bit more. Bonjour, mon ami. Bonjour, monsieur. Sweat through your notch, okay? That's it, you're relaxed.
You're nearly finished, Brandy, coming to Lockborough.
I'm quite excited to meet Gladina actually. I know about some of her work before, so I'm quite confident that she'll be able to lead me and help me to use my time and give me to use my time better and give me some tips to be a better leader.
Cue Gladina.
Oh, hi, it's Gladina McMahon for Brendan Coyle.
Hello!
Hi, Brendan. I'm Gladina. Nice to meet you.
Hi Gladina, lovely to meet you. Thanks very much for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Come and sit down.
So, Brendan, what are the challenges that you want me to help you with?
I would like, if you don't mind, to try and help me manage my time so that I am very effective in school and also have got time to give at home for my own leisure pursuits and also to give time to my family. I don't think yet I'm skilled enough to work out for myself that this has to be done, this I can put to the side and perhaps leave for another day.
How do you pace that? How do you make decisions for yourself about how much can be done, is reasonable to be done, and in what time?
I don't do that.
Okay.
I tend to just add it on to the time, so my days become longer and longer.
So how much work do you take home with you?
I don't leave often school before 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And then it might be another, when I've had tea, I might do another hour or so. More and more now I'm tending to have a very quick power nap and then see if I can get back to doing something for school again.
Do you sleep well, or?
I'm not the best sleeper in the world, but I don't think I ever have been.
Okay.
I'll be very quick to go off to sleep and have 3-4 hours and then wake. Now if I was on holiday, generally that my sleeping pattern actually is better.
If your sleeping pattern is better in the holidays, then it does kind of suggest that the pressure that you're putting yourself under is disrupting your sleep. Because if you were naturally one of those people that has ongoing sleep issues, it wouldn't actually improve in the holidays.
Right.
The fact that it does tells me that it's a reaction that you've got to the pressure.
But again, I don't think I'm any different to many people.
No, you're not, but I've got you here, not them. You discount yourself. You use phrases like, well, this is what everybody else does. You know, I'm no different to all the other teachers, etc. But actually, if we're going to effect change for you, you're going to have to say, I'm important enough to make this happen. So what we want is a more realistic thinking style. But you've given me a lot to think about now, Brendan. So I'm going to ponder.
Very good.
And I'll come back later and we'll have another chat.
Look forward to it. First of all, it's brilliant that you're all here now. But we've got to be prepared. Next Friday, you're going to have somebody looking at how you work. So you need to bear it off first, I think.
What's not taking off the oven now?
No, don't put it in the oven. Get a frying pan right there then. Turn it, that's it.
Brendan, what are you doing in this class?
Well, this is a Year 11 catering GCSE group.
Okay.
And I have been asked to take this group on.
Just one thing, I thought your specialism was RE.
It is. I know that the timetable was aware that I do some cooking at home and I enjoy cooking. So asked would I take it on. And me being me.
Said yes.
Said yes.
So 3 times a week you get lunch, okay?
Technically.
Technically, but you
Well,
could.
There's always things. Yes, I could actually.
You
yeah.
could.
Yeah.
But twice a week you have it on the run like now.
Like this.
Okay.
Start before Christ.
Well, Brendan, it's been a very interesting day, and I've had an opportunity to think about some things that I think might be of some use to you.
Very good. I look forward to hearing them.
You may not by the time I finish, though, because remember what I said earlier to you about the fact that I have a feeling that these might be some challenges for you. Well, the first one is the art of delegation.
Yes, I know the word. Not that good at it.
So one of the things that I think would be very helpful for you is to actually identify, A, who are the people you can delegate to, and B, what are the things you can delegate.
Right.
And then to go into school and maybe talk to those individuals about the type of tasks that you're going to delegate to them, so that they will be aware what will be coming their way.
So you don't do it without informing them. You don't do it on the sly, as it were. You're actually telling them that you're going to delegate.
Absolutely, because in a management role like yours, there's 2 parts to that. One is managers delegate. That's good management practice. But secondly, delegation is also a good way to grow members of staff. The second task is that we talked about realistic thinking. You know, this concept of you being able to stand back and identify for yourself what you are doing that's actually good. What I want you to do is to get yourself a journal and to start to realistically appraise the things that you do. And the way that I want you to do that is to write down all the things that you actually do. And when you do that, I want you to then stand back a bit as if you're in the third person and evaluate that. If this was someone else and you had the list of all these things there, what would you be thinking about that individual? Now, the third exercise that I want you to undertake is to devise a timetable for the whole of your week. And I want you to put into that timetable what seems realistic for you. Again, think of it as a third person. If this was someone else, how many times a week do you think it's realistic for them to maybe go to the gym or go running or do whatever it is? And I want you to actually put that down as legitimate activities which you block out in your diary.
So it's almost like saying that my recreational time almost becomes the same or as important as a meeting time.
Correct.
If I wouldn't avoid a meeting,
you wouldn't avoid your exercise.
Can I just check on this idea of your timetable though? I don't shift everything to the weekend,
No.
presume. It's got to be something every day.
Yes, something reasonable for you to do. Now, I'm not suggesting that, for example, every day you go running. I'm not suggesting that. But I am suggesting that, 3 times a week doesn't sound unreasonable.
No.
And that will also force you into looking at the way you prioritise work-related issues.
So you're talking about splitting things up into short-term, medium-term and long-term goals?
Correct. So how does all that sound to you?
I think it would be very good for me to sit down and do this paper exercise. I'd be interested to see how I value myself, because I think by the very nature of what I do, I'm quite critical.
Well, it's funny you should say that, actually, Brendan, because you've just reminded me, I think there's another exercise for you to do. And that is that I want you to come up with 20 things you think you're really good at.
That I'm really good at? 20? I don't know about 20.
Now, if I said to you, give me 40 things that you think you could do better, you give me 50, like that. Your focus needs to be about learning to be realistic about yourself.
I see the value of doing it. I think there'll be a challenge, not just the 20 questions, but I think the actual timetable to force myself to sit down and plan that is a challenge. But it'll be worth doing. Gladina, thanks very much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Listen, it's been a real pleasure to come over today. And just remember that if you want to get that headship eventually, you've got to start looking after yourself.
But can I start tomorrow, please?
Yes, you can tomorrow, as long as you really do tomorrow, though.
I will. I look forward to starting my plan tomorrow.
Fantastic. See you soon.
Thanks ever so much for coming.
Take care.
See you now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Do you know, it was really, really interesting meeting Gladina. I had some reservations about the sort of advice that a life coach could give, but I was amazed at the insights that she could pick up ever so quickly. I mean, she's only known me for a few hours, and her accuracy was outstanding, I thought.
So as Brendan makes a start on his tasks, Gladina wonders how a former client is getting on.
Well, when I met Stuart Riley last year, he was really struggling with his performance. He couldn't get a grip on the class, and they were pretty disruptive, really. Well, let's remind ourselves of what it was really like for Stuart.
Stuart Riley, former customs officer and now teacher at Dane Court Grammar School in Kent, was finding it difficult to assert his authority in the classroom after coming into teaching late.
Now this is a diagram of the electromagnet.
Wanting to be a success, Stuart found himself over-planning for the more difficult classes, meaning that he had less time for the things he enjoyed. So he asked Ease the Load for help.
You lead the way.
4/5.
Gladina felt that the root of his problem was in the classroom and wasted little time getting to work.
How many 3s in 13?
One of the things I noticed in both classes, and it probably has a greater impact when you've got, shall we say, a slightly more rowdy class, is that you're very focused on the task. And you're very focused on individual students and going round and trying to make sure that they all get something of you. However, you don't scan the room with your eyes very much.
It is a difficult issue, that.
Okay, stand up. One of the things that I want you to do is to centre...
Gladina felt that Stuart could assert his authority through scanning the room more, working on his body language and making eye contact.